Hello everyone, Captain Hooch here. Now I know I've disappeared from YouTube for a while. I started out with my DayZ videos that I played with my friend Dan. The DayZ videos got featured in Game Informer, which blew my mind. And I went from nobody knowing who I was, save for a few friends I showed the videos, and a few people on Reddit's DayZ subreddit that watched the link I posted. And next thing I know, I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of views. I think 33 some thousand was the most I got on one of the videos, which for somebody who had only been doing YouTube for like 2 days, that's crazy. I expected I'd probably be posting dozens and dozens of videos before anybody even cared enough to watch more than 100 times. So I did that. Then me and Dan quit playing DayZ, and I did some Kerbal Space Program tutorials because I'm a big Kerbal fan, and those did pretty decently. And then I vanished. So what happened to me? I've noticed that I still have about 100 some subscribers at the time of this video, and I just poof, gone. So where'd I go? Well, there's a lot of stuff, and it's a long story. I'm going to try to keep it short. I had another video I did for this, and I ended up deleting it at the last second, where it was basically over an hour of me rambling about my life, and I started thinking, no, that's way too long. Nobody's going to want to sit through that. I'm not popular enough or big enough that anybody's really going to care. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm horribly, horribly wrong about that, but I figure short and sweet's the better way to do it, so I'm redoing it. You don't get to see the disaster that was the unedited original footage, where I kept getting interrupted by my roommate and my cat, and I'll probably show them in future videos. So, what happened to me? Well, around the time that I uploaded the DayZ videos, it was around the same time my mother passed away. I just needed a distraction from her being sick and dying, and then my dad was all I had left. Now, my mom and dad were actually my great-grandparents. They raised me. I don't know my real parents beyond their names and what state one of them lives in and what state I think the other one might. So, don't know them. So my great-grandparents raised me. They're my mom and dad. Well, my great-grandmother, or mom, since she raised me, she's my mom, she passed away 2, 3 years ago. She was diabetic, and she was over 90 years old, and just poof, gone. I saw her in the hospital. She had a really bad episode, almost died in the house, and then they got her to the hospital, got her stable, and she was fine when I got there, and I hugged her, told her I loved her, she told me she loved me, and then get a call the next morning. She wasn't there anymore. So that kind of hit hard. I wasn't really good at handling it. Emotions, not one of those things I'm fantastic at. I'm trying my best not to come across as robotic and monotone, which I've been accused of, but it's a little rough. So I then had to watch my dad, who was also in his 90s, deteriorate. First, his heart started to go, so they gave him a pacemaker, and then his organs just stopped doing things properly, and he was freezing all the time, and then his brain started to just nope out on him, and he couldn't remember stuff. Eventually, he got so sick that they had to take him to a hospital, and normally he'd be gone for 3 days to a week, and I'd just be alone in the house for a couple days, and I lived next door to the hospital, so I could walk over and visit him. Then 1 week became two, two became three, three became four. Next thing I know, they're saying he has to go to a nursing home, and there was some disagreement about that, but ended up, I was overruled. I knew he was going, and I figured he'd be happier at the house, and nobody else wanted to. I think everybody else knew he was going, but they didn't want to admit it, and they wanted to put him in a nursing home, and I know that guy. I've known him for over 25 years living with him. He wouldn't have liked it, and he didn't. the new environment, having to be around new people, not sleeping in his own bed, I think that really did a number with his dementia kicking in, going into overdrive because he was in an unfamiliar environment. So I guess the memories became a lot harder to recall, and it just went downhill pretty fast. After about a month and a half, 2 months, he passed away April 1st last year. And he thankfully left me his house because I was working in food service. And when I say food service, specifically fast food, you've probably worked fast food. Most everybody has done that at least once in their life. And if you have, you know the hours are bad. You don't get enough of them. The pay is awful. They'll pay you the bare minimum that they can get away with. And sometimes the managers just, they don't care. They don't care about you, and if they do care about you, they're really, really bad at showing it. It just seems all they care about is their bottom dollar, which is crazy because they don't get a boost, and the only people that get boosts in food service are people who are like CEOs of the multinational chains. But, I don't want to get into politics too heavy on that, or corporate politics. So, we'll fast forward a bit. I was alone. I began drinking heavily. Captain Hooch. The name came because I like beer. Started out as Hooch Cow, which is what you'll see me as when I play Hearthstone, or if you talk to me on Reddit. And that name came across because I was thinking, well, what would be a good name for me? I've got a couple stuffed cows. Cows are cool. And I like beer, which is also called Hooch. And it would be awesome, a cow that gives hooch instead of milk. So, Hooch Cow. And I also kind of do make my own once in a while mead. Need to do another batch soon, actually. Just finding the time and money to just take and buy the stuff. Not really in the budget right now. So, before I digress any farther, I was living on my own for well over a year. And I had friends come by and visit, and I got myself a new job, and I'm able to support myself, and it's going pretty smoothly. I love my new job. I'm actually working with a multinational company. I'm not going to say who they are or what I do because they have a strict social media policy like most large companies do. It pays me well enough to live on, and I'm very fortunate that I was left a house so I don't have to worry about rent. So all in all, life, while it sucked and I wasn't really processing the emotion of my parents' deaths very as well as I should have, and I just kind of went very inward. I became a bit of a recluse. The new job doesn't really help with that since I work overnights, but I'm doing better now. I have more privacy. I've got my room sorted out in a way that I like it. It was a lot more crowded before. I've still got a bit of a mess on the bed behind me. I've still got a lot of things in the house. I just need to buckle down, set aside a week, and get it taken care of, like getting a lot of their old stuff out of the house. So that's something for the future. But for right now, I've decided that I've got myself a new computer now. I've got top quality video card. It's a 980 Ti, and I've got me a nice 1080p webcam. I'm looking at buying a new microphone. Currently, I'm using either my webcam microphone or my Kingston HyperX Cloud gaming headset, which is what you'll hear when I'm doing game commentary and videos. Right now, I'm using the webcam mic. I'm thinking about buying a blue Snowball. It's about 50-60 bucks. And a lot of people are highly recommending that mic, and from videos I've seen, I can't tell an audio quality difference between that and the Yeti, which is the other most common recommended one, so why pay double for the same quality? Now, I do plan to get back into YouTube a little more. Might not post every day, might try to do it at least a couple times a week, since I get plenty of days off. I can't promise every week, because life is kind of random like that, and I do have a job where the schedule is only semi-consistent. I have a real life, I have friends, and sometimes, I have to think, well, I could put out a video, or I could deal with the outside world, and I need to deal with the outside world first. YouTube's coming second right now, but I just thought I'd let you know where I've been. I've got myself a new roommate. My best friend Robert's moved in with me. He was disabled veteran, and he was getting a really crappy disability check from the VA and living in income-based housing. And I had a spare room, and the idea just got brought up by one of my friends that I move him in, since he's pretty much at my house every day anyway. So we got him moved in, and it's actually cheaper for him to pay me rent than it is for him to have to deal with getting denied food stamps and having to live off, a very, very, very tiny sum of money every month. And he actually has money left over. He can actually buy things for himself now and not have to worry about, what to do if he gets a hole in his clothes, or if one of his shirts gets ruined in the laundry, or where his next meal is going to come from, since we both can chip in on the food together, and that's working out pretty well. And I might bring him into some videos in the future, since he's got my old gaming computer. While it's about 5 or 6 years old, it's not a bad machine, so he'd be able to game with it. And we'll see how things go in the future. I've got my Hearthstone series, which I've heard that I can fix the crashing issue by disabling the NVIDIA Precision X software. Apparently, Precision X plus Windows 10 equals Hearthstone will not stay open and crash the desktop constantly. And I've got the beta access for Elite Dangerous. I bought the Lifetime Expansion Pass when they brought it back around, so I'll be doing some CQC content, and I'll be doing Horizons when it launches, and I'll probably be showing off some of the new ships that are coming into the game, because I love flight sims. I've got, joystick, throttle, pedals underneath my desk here. I've planned on building myself a HOTAS stand so that I can use everything more comfortably. With a new desk, it may not be necessary. But life's going pretty well. Now, aside from deaths in the family, I can't really complain about anything. I've got a fantastic job. I've got friends who come to see me now. I've got time for them. I don't have to worry about anybody kicking the bucket or getting hurt because I'm not here because I had to go to work, or I went to go be with friends on one of my personal days. I mean, it sucks that they're gone, but it's freed me up a bit, and it's helped me grow a lot as a person. I've had to learn that being an adult is more than being old enough to be legally considered an adult. That's a topic, though, for another video. As for the future of the channel, I've got my gameplay content coming up, and you'll probably see more rambling videos of me. I want to do a bit of a variety channel that focuses mostly on games, but you'll see the odd content that doesn't fit in, so don't let that scare you off if you came here for the games and then suddenly I'm talking about life, the universe, and everything, or e-cigs, or beer, or how to cook a pork chop. So don't worry about that. That's just going to be the occasional side stuff, and if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. Also, I'd like your opinion as viewers on ads. I do monetize most of my videos, and while I've not got enough views to receive an AdSense check yet, there's the overlay ads, the ones that will pop up in the video, like right about where my hand is, and just cover this bottom bit right here. Do you guys want me to omit those, or would you rather have no problem seeing them in the video? I know a lot of you use ad blocker, and I completely understand why. Ads can be annoying, especially when you see the same ad 500 times in a row. So let me know what you think about the little ad that pops up on the bottom of the video. I don't really like anything that covers the screen myself, so I've not been using it, but if I get enough comments saying that nobody has a problem with it, I'll add it in. Though I'd probably rather just stick with the ones that you can usually skip before the video. But for now, I just thought I'd let you know where I've been, and maybe once I get the house completely sorted out, which whenever I get around to doing that, I've got all Robert stuff I've got to get sorted. I've got all my great-grandparents stuff that I need to get rid of, and a lot of it's worth money, and it's hard to, sometimes sell a lot of these old antiques when you don't really live anywhere where antiques are big. People rather just go to Walmart and buy some kit furniture or get some cheap decorations instead of buying, the older stuff that's nicer, and it's not to my taste. I'd rather just get the kit furniture and, get the cheaper decorations. You know, it kind of looks like an old lady house, and my room kind of looks more like a kid's room, and I got to sort a lot of this out. I also got to do something about that, that curtain behind me. It's closed, and the sun shines in through that window most of the day, so thinking about getting some blackout curtains and then just using the overhead lamp. But I'm rambling off about other topics. You know where I've been now. I've just had some family issues and personal issues and lack of good equipment, which I'm now able to fix slowly. I'll be doing a comparison video when I get the Snowball mic, and I'm looking into getting a copy of Movie Studio 13 Platinum for editing. And I'll probably look into some capture software to see if anything is better than Shadowplay, which is what I'm using now. Maybe somewhere down the road I'll find out how to do the thing where I can have a face cam down here in the corner while I game, so you can watch me talk about it, maybe when I get a little bit better at the commentary, and can be a little more interesting. But for now, this is Captain Hooch, signing off. Have a great day.